Kalimera iloji ina. Kalimeta, morning, or meha, morning. Iloji, blessed. Ina, it is. So, Kalimera iloji ina. Good morning. Blessed it is, right? Today, I want to go over a few questions that we're going to get into the answers for. So, the first question that I have is, who is it that gives you power? Who is it that when everything and everyone is just gone, what is your source of staying up? What is your source of keeping your chin held high, putting on the armor of God, and so on and so forth? Are you getting impatient in your life? Are you having everyday struggles where you just feel weary and your heart is heavy and your mind is just too much to be dealing with on a daily basis, right? Are you praying to God? Are you making sure that you're asking God for the strength needed to get through with your struggles? I want to go over Isaiah 40:29 through 31 today. So at this time in this chapter, Isaiah is writing to the Jewish exiles in Babylon. And the reason why the Jewish exiles are in Babylon is because of the refusal to pay taxes and the alliance with Egypt. King of Judah, however you say it, goes in alliance with Pharaoh. Hophra, I think is how you say it, Pharaoh Hophra of Egypt, right? He goes in alliance with them, with Egypt. And King Nebuchadnezzar's like, oh no, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. He's like, no, no, no. You refuse to pay taxes. Not only do you refuse to pay taxes, you're now going into alliance with the people that we hate the most. Oh no, we're not gonna do this. So what does Nebuchadnezzar do? He comes down and he starts taking people. He attacks the city of Jerusalem multiple times, in the ending becoming reign of Jerusalem, right? So what we're going to read today is Isaiah 40 verses 29 to 31, which will answer the beginning questions. So 29, Isaiah 40:29 in the ESV version is what I'm reading off of. He says, he who gives power to the faint, and to him who has no might, he increases strength. Even youths shall faint and be weary, and young men shall be exhausted. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. So, going into the first one, he who gives power to the faint, and to him who has no might, he increases strength. God never suffers. Never suffers setbacks. Never suffers setbacks. I'm sure he does suffer on some things and some of the things that we put him through. He helps those who are lost, who need to be found, who are suffering, those who suffer their setbacks, and so on and so forth. He's going to help them first. He's going to help them first, right? And we understand that. Even youth shall faint and be weary, and young men shall be exhausted. When we trust in God's plan, like wholeheartedly trust in God's plan for us, and we have patience in God's plan, and when we realize that we now have patience in God's plan and we trust in God's plan for us, we start to gain that strength. We start to get that strength back, right? And though sometimes it does seem unfair, the things that we're going through, for us to need renewed strength, I get it, I understand it, it's unfair sometimes. We have to have trust in God no matter what we do. No matter where we are, we have to know that we have God's support. No matter what, right? So that's, even youth shall faint and be weary, and young men shall be exhausted. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. We wait with strength. We are always going to wait with strength. We are always going to fight with strength. But that strength comes from someone. That strength comes from a truly astonishing person or God. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly who he is. He's God. The strength comes from God. And what Isaiah is writing right now is to the Jewish exiles. He's telling them, though I know things are heavy, though I know what you're going through, remember God's promise by faith to you. You are his people. He has promised you something and he never lies. Hold strength. Make sure that you are holding on with God. Make sure that you are holding on with God. All of the things you're worried about, all of the things that you just feel like, I can't do it no more, put it in God's hands. And that's what Isaiah is telling the Jewish exiles to do. They're in captivity right now. They've been forced away from their motherland. They're in Babylon. They don't want to be there. Most of them are worshiping false idols and false gods and so on and so forth. And then you've got these other people, which I assume Isaiah is talking to, right? So Isaiah 40:29 reminds us, to him who has no might, Jesus will bring you. Jesus increases your strength. Trust in him, my dude. Trust in him. Always trust in Jesus, no matter what. Are you asking God for strength on the things that you need? Because that's where the Jewish exiles were. They were just weary and everything in their mind and heart was just heavy. They had no understanding of why. And the ones that did have understanding, they were mad about it. And my question is, are you asking God for that strength when you're weary? Trusting God. Know you have a support system through your relationship with God, right? And when we feel overwhelmed, at times, because all of us do, we all feel overwhelmed, right? Remember to rest in him when exhausted. When exhausted, trust in him. Talk with him, right? Right? Look, it says, when we trust in God's plan for us, have patience, we are renewed with strength. So trust him. And the last verse we're going to get into, are you getting impatient with things that are happening in life, with things that are going on, or when or how this situation is going to be fixed, or when or how am I going to get a new job, or when or how am I going to fix my car or get a new car, or so on and so forth, right? Are you remembering what Isaiah told the Jewish exiles in chapter 40? He says, remember, those who wait for the Lord are renewed in strength. Those who wait for the Lord are renewed in strength. Are you waiting for the Lord, bro? Are you waiting for the Lord? Are you having faith in the Lord? Do you know that the Lord is going to help you? Do you know that the Lord is your support system to make everything better? Do you know that? Because that's what Isaiah is telling the Jewish exile people. To remember to have faith. To remember that those who are weak and weary get renewed strength through our relationship with the Father. As always, much love. As always, bless you all, and God bless you all.